Hey, it's all with another video, brought to you by Callum Underwood, adult film critic. Because with a name like Underwood, you're definitely an adult film critic. Next week, patch 8.1 Tides of Vengeance is dropping, so here's a current list of add-ons that you might have heard of, and you might find useful, or useless. That's totally okay. This list comes from add-ons that I've run into, as well as those that you viewers have submitted from previous add-on videos, so thanks for sharing and keep making suggestions. Also, thanks to your feedback, I'm going to do my best to avoid add-ons that are related to more robust suites like LVY or Leatrix Plus, both of which are terrific add-ons and you should consider checking them out. I'm also going to mostly leave out add-ons that I've mentioned in the past, so if your favorite isn't mentioned here, don't sweat it. I'm going to try covering up-and-coming as well as new add-ons on a more regular basis, so hit that subscribe button and the bell thingamajigger for add-on reviews as well as my coverage on all things Warcraft, and with all that stuff said, let's get going. Patch 8.1 is going to make leveling alts a lot easier thanks to reduced level requirements, so now's the time to jump back into the old world. Khalils Tracker is a simple quest tracking add-on that, among other things, lets you scroll down your lists of quests if you're the type that likes to keep everything tracked. It can also automatically retrack quests and achievements based on your location, you just need to turn that feature on, it's off by default. BTW Quests does not support every quest in the game, but it's a really neat add-on that visualizes your quest progression. If you were in the middle of a zone questline, you can look at this tree and see the requirements to get to the next stage of your campaign. If you want a more robust, maybe even an overwhelming coverage of the quest that you need, download both Holy and Grail. Get it? Holy Grail? Yeah, okay. Grail is just a library that tracks quests that you've completed, while Holy displays what you have not quite completed. It's a little bit harder to read than BTW, and sometimes it'll display quests that aren't actually there because those were breadcrumbs that you've picked up from a different quest altogether, but it's still really useful. Now for some mostly quality of life stuff. In 8.1, Paragon Reputation will become a thing again. You can expect the add-on Paragon Reputation to be updated, so you can track all those reputations for a chance at a box of what I call stolen promises. Alliance players get to see nifty markers for the many boat-based travel points in Tiragard Sound. For Horde players who choose Paku as their Loa in Zuldazar, no such marker exists. That's what Paku totems are for, showing you where these fast travel totems are, as well as the destination they fly to. Talking heads appear every now and then throughout your questing, but sometimes Greymane's forces hold this Warden Tower a bit too much. With Talk Less, you'll experience the Talking Head immersion the first time as a courtesy, and then, for your sanity, never hear it again. Warfront Rare Tracker tracks rares in Warfronts. It's pretty wild, huh? It includes both a minimap button tracker as well as icons on your map. Easy Delete Confirm also falls under the category of add-on names that are also the description. Yeah, let's move on. Extended Vendor UI displays 2 pages worth of items at a time from vendors instead of just one, which visually I find more appealing than other add-ons that condenses vendors into a really tight list. It has additional filters for those vendors with a lot of different kinds of items available. Complementing this add-on is Buy 'em All, which makes buying multiples from vendors a ton easier. Even now, I still use vendors like the Trader from the Garrison and the Blood of Sargeras vendor. I can hit the max button there, and it'll spend all my blood or garrison resources, which saves a ton of clicks. Transmog Roulette is what happens when you let your nephew decide what you want to wear. This add-on is not unheard of, it pretty much lives on the Twitch add-on client, but this is honestly the first time I've tried it out, and I can pretty much spend all day looking at what abomination could come out next. Just don't go broke doing it. Group Finder Silence turns the droning sound of an applicant into a single swing of an applicant signing up. Healers Have to Die is a fascinating add-on that's been suggested to me multiple times, and only recently I've started back up on PvPing, making this add-on extremely useful in the middle of the action. All that happens is that big ol' markers appear on the top of healers' heads, and that's it. Azerite Tooltip is a band-aid for one of my biggest complaints about the Azerite system. Not being able to see the traits that you have, or the ones that you want. With this easy add-on, traits are displayed on your tooltip, also highlighting ones that you have chosen. Bonus Roll Preview takes the dungeon journal loot from bosses and makes it nice and visible on the bonus roll frame. You can change the spec to view the different loot tables and then change your loot specialization on the frame too. Finally, Screen Overlay Enhanced places a grid on your screen for the sole purpose of helping you line up your add-ons and unit frames all pretty-like. The unit frame add-on that I use personally is called Pitbull Unit Frames, which is basically a dinosaur, but it still works great for me. Using something like this helps to keep things centered and flush. So that's the list. If you know of any add-ons that might be flying under the radar, but you think they're great, mention them in a comment below. I'll try to put them in a future video where I'll feature fewer add-ons, but I'm going to get more in-depth with how they work and maybe how useful they might be for us. So if this content was useful at all, hit that like button because that seems to help out the channel. And I'll see you later. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and stay breezy.